Whatever the cost of our libraries, the price is cheap compared to that of an ignorant nation. With this quote from Walter Cronkite, I welcome you to another edition of this wonderful program on Radio Education Today. Education Today is a program that aims to call attention of the public to education matters as they affect the effective running of the educational system and the achievement of educational goals. This comes on air every Saturday on this station, Lights Radio. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Our goal is to educate, inform, orientate, and entertain the society on educational matters, address issues affecting the educational system, influence public opinion, and drive effective educational policy directions to guide the formulators and implementers. For your questions, comments, and contributions, you can reach us on Facebook via www.facebook.com/lightsradio, www.facebook.com/lightsradio. Our Twitter handle is at the Lights Radio, Instagram Lights_radio, YouTube Lights Radio. You can also call or send a message to us via SMS or WhatsApp on 0809 738 4000. I'll say that again, 0809 738 4000. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the program continues. Please stay with us. All right, if you just joined in, you are listening to Education Today on Lights Radio. We kick off with the news segment, and here is Nima. Hello, Nima.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. KAZEEM.
All right, let's have the news.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Education Today, reaching you live from Lights Radio. I am Nima Ibrahim. First, the headlines. Emphasize on entrepreneurship training, Tinubu tells varsities. Appoint deputies in acting positions, NEC tells outgoing VCs. Student loan, state-owned institution students, registration starts June 25th. NEL Fund. And on the foreign scene, Jill appoints Maury McInnes as its first permanent female president. Now the details. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerian communities to place more emphasis on training in entrepreneurship to make the graduates job creators instead of job seekers. Speaking during the 18th convocation ceremony of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, the president was represented by the Director of Tertiary Education in the Federal Ministry of Education, Mrs. Rukia Ilyasu, said it was not in doubt that Nigerian universities would find a lasting solution to problems facing the country. Furthermore, he appealed for greater transparency in the management of the affairs of the universities and be more committed to research and publications for which government is providing financial and other resources through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, and Needs Assessment Intervention Funds. He also stated that the federal government has, through the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, inaugurated the Labor Employment Enhancement Program, LEEP, designed to create 10 million jobs, adding that the program will create an average of 2.5 million jobs annually for the next 4 years. The federal government has directed outgoing vice chancellors in federal universities to nominate their deputies to temporarily serve as acting vice chancellors. The National Universities Commission, NUC, conveyed this to outgoing vice chancellors in a letter dated May 28, 2024. The letter, signed by the acting executive secretary of NUC, Chris Mayaki, said the move was prompted by a directive from the Federal Ministry of Education, which duly notified the Commission on the end of the tenure of some vice chancellors. While noting that the appointment of the acting vice chancellors should be done through the recommendations of the University Senate, NEC said the soon-to-be inaugurated governing councils of the universities would appoint acting vice chancellors after the inauguration. The management of Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, has revealed that over 60,000 students of federal government institutions have so far registered for the student loan since the portal for application was officially opened on Friday last week. The fund also announced that the portal would be open for application by students of state-owned tertiary institutions come June 25th, 2024. Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the fund, Akintunde Sawyer, made the disclosures on Thursday in Abuja at a post-application launch press conference. He also noted the surge in the applications by students as he disclosed that 30,000 applicants have successfully completed the application process. A Nigerian graduate, Saidat Razak Balogun, has been awarded the 2024 Distinguished Student Award from Southern Illinois University, SIU. Mrs. Razak Balogun and several other students from SIU's campuses in Carbondale, Edwardsville, and Springfield were honored by the university's Board of Trustees and the Student Advisory Committee for the SIU system, SACS. Saidat, a first-class graduate of meteorological and climate science from the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, is working towards a PhD in environmental resource and policy at SIU, where she also serves as vice president of the SIU International Students Council. And on the foreign scene, Yale University named Maureen McInnes as its new president on Wednesday, the first woman to be selected for the top position in a non-interim capacity since the Ivy League school was founded in 1701. McInnes, the president of Stony Brook University in New York, will join the flagship New Haven School on July 1st as the 24th president, taking over the reins from Peter Salovey, who announced in August that the current school year would be his last after having led the school for over a decade. McInnes will thus be the first woman to lead Yale as a non-interim president in its 323-year history. That's the news. But before we go, a quick recap of the major stories. Emphasize on entrepreneurship training, Tinubu tells varsities. Appoint deputies in acting positions, NUC tells outgoing VCs. Student loan, state-owned institution students registration starts June 25th. NEL Fund. And on the foreign scene, Yale appoints Maureen McInnes as its first permanent female president. That's the news. It was compiled by Nima Ibrahim and edited by OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Don't forget, for the coverage of your educational programs, fairs, competitions, trainings, among others, you can call us on 0702-507-4268, or you can send us an email via educationmediaservices@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Education Today continues in a moment. Please stay with us.
All right, that's all we can take on the news for today. Right now, we'll take the Did You Know segment with Said Aremu.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Did You Know segment of Education Today, where we consider random ideas, thoughts, personalities, events, concepts, and celebrations that many people are unaware of. The objective is to broaden our horizon and increase our base knowledge of things around us beyond what is taught in the four walls of classrooms and colleges. I am Said Aremu. Today, we want to talk about the River Nile, the lifeblood of Africa. The Nile River, stretching over 6,650 kilometers, reigns supreme as the longest river in Africa and the second longest in the world after the Nile-Amazon rivers combined river system. This majestic waterway has carved its path through the African landscape for millions of years, shaping the environment, nurturing civilizations, and inspiring awe for millennia. Here's a deeper dive into the Nile's fascinating story. The Nile origins are a complex tapestry of tributaries. While the source of the White Nile, traditionally considered the Palmable Nile, is traced to the Kagera River in Rwanda or Burundi, the even longer Blue Nile originates from Lake Tana in Ethiopia. These two giants converge at Khartoum, Sudan, forming the main Nile River that snakes its way north through Egypt before emptying into the Mediterranean Sea through a vast delta. The Nile's journey has sculpted diverse landscapes. The now zone as coastal landscape, the White Nile meanders through lush swamps and rainforests, carrying rich sediments that nourish the fertile plains of South Sudan. In stark contrast, the Blue Nile, fed by seasonal winds from the Ethiopian highlands, carves dramatic gorges and waterfalls. As they merge, they create the life-giving floodplains of Egypt, where the desert surrenders to vibrant greenery. The Nile's predictable floods and fertile lands foster the rise of some of the earliest and most influential civilizations in human history. Ancient Egyptians, for instance, depended on the annual inundation for agriculture, developing complex irrigation systems and building a society that thrived for millennia. They now also served as a vital trade route connecting Egypt to other parts of Africa and the Mediterranean world. The now teems with life. Papyrus reeds, once used by the Egyptians for writing material, line the river banks. The papyrus thickets provide sanctuary for a diverse array of birds, including the majestic African fish eagle and the elusive shoebill stork. The Nile's waters are home to a variety of fish, including the iconic Nile perch and the lungfish, a fascinating creature that can breathe air during dry periods. On land, crocodiles, hippopotamus, and numerous bird species thrive in the rich ecosystem supported by the Nile. Despite its life-giving force, the Nile faces significant challenges. Population growth, climate change, and water scarcity threaten the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Dam construction can disrupt natural flood patterns, impacting agriculture and wildlife habitats. Water pollution from agricultural runoff and industrial waste also pose a serious threat to the river's health. The Nile's future depends on international cooperation and sustainable management practices. Collaborative efforts are needed to ensure equitable water sharing among the Nile basin countries. Investing in renewable energy sources and water conservation techniques can help reduce pressure on the river. Ultimately, safeguarding this precious resource is critical not just for the environment but also for the well-being of millions who depend on the Nile for their livelihoods and very survival. The Nile story is as vast as the river itself, and there are other avenues for further exploration, including the Great Pyramids of Giza, the Aswan High Dam, the Sud swamps, the Nile cruises. The Nile River is a powerful symbol of life, resilience, and the profound connection between humanity and nature. By understanding its history, appreciating its beauty, and addressing the challenges it faces, we can ensure that this magnificent waterway continues to nourish life for generations to come. Now you know. That's all on the Dino segment for this week. I remain Saeed Aremo. Education Today continues shortly. Please stay with us.
That was the Did You Know segment with Said Aram. Right now, we'll take the International Days segment. Good afternoon and welcome to the International Day segment of Education Today, where we take a look at different days marked by the United Nations to commemorate different aspects of our lives as global citizens. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Today, we'll be considering the World Environment Day. Every year on June 5th, the world comes together to celebrate the World Environment Day, the biggest international day for environmental outreach. Led by the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, it is a day dedicated to raising awareness and inspiring action for protection of our planet. World Environment Day story began in 1973, established by the UN General Assembly. Since then, it has grown into a global platform for environmental public outreach, with millions of people across the world participating in various activities. Each year focuses on a specific theme, highlighting a pressing environmental concern. The theme for World Environment Day 2024 is The theme for World Environment Day 2024 is Land Restoration, from Desertification to Transformation. This year's focus aligns with the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration 2021 to 2030, a global movement to heal damaged ecosystems and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. You should ask yourself, why does land restoration matter? Healthy land sustains life. However, land degradation caused by factors like deforestation, unsustainable agriculture, and climate change threatens our planet's ability to support life. Desertification, the transformation of fertile land into desert, is a growing concern impacting millions worldwide. Land restoration aims to reverse this trend. It involves reviving degraded lands by planting trees, restoring wetlands, and improving soil health. This not only combats desertification and drought, but also provides a wealth of benefits, including combating climate change, biodiversity boost, improved food security, enhanced water security, economic benefits. World Environment Day is a call to action for everyone. Here are some ways you can participate. Educate yourself, learn about land degradation and share your knowledge with others. Reduce your impact by making conscious choices that minimize your environmental footprint. Plant trees, compost food scraps, and conserve water. Support sustainable businesses by choosing products and services from companies committed to sustainable practices. Participate in local events. Join or organize tree planting drives, cleanup initiatives, or educational workshops in your community. Spread awareness by talking to your friends, family, and colleagues about World Environment Day and the importance of land restoration. Use social media to share information and inspire others. By working together, we can heal the earth and build a more sustainable future. World Environment Day is a reminder that everyone has a role to play. Through collective action, we can restore our lands, protect our environment, and ensure a healthy planet for generations to come. That is our International Day segment. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Education Today continues in a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're still on to Education Today on Lights Radio, and we have a guest in the studio from Teenage Triangle. Teenage Triangle is an NGO operating here in Lagos State. So I have Mr. Mustafa Najmuddin. You're welcome to Education Today.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
All right. So, very quickly. So, what is Teenage Triangle, and what is the organization about?
So Teenage Triangle basically is an organization that deals with teenagers, and majorly our goal is to build a better community for teenagers to impact them positively towards achieving success in all their endeavors, and especially help them against immoralities.
Okay. So, what's the nature of what's the nature of your programs like? Is it probably just academic, or is it about just talking about morality, or what exactly are some of the programs that you organize?
So okay, what we do, as I said, is that we actually want a better community for teenagers. So we actually think like them, looking at how best do we relate with them. So our programs generally are being organized to suit them and also pass our messages. So we do different kind of programs. We do enlightenment sessions. We have programs that we do like awareness. We've organized an awareness on International Girls Child Day to understand the importance of girls in society, and we have done a program on career too previously.
All right. So you have a particular program coming up this June. So what is that program, and what are the things that you want people to know about it?
Okay, so we have a program coming up that is a Teen Career Hangout, which is coming up very soon. So Teen Career Hangout is, we call it, this one is Teen Career Hangout 2.0, because we actually have done it once before and it was very successful. And this year we are coming in bigger, with bigger plans. And what is it about is that we've noticed that most teenagers does not really understand what they really want to be in life due to so many factors. So some of them later change even when they get to universities. So we want them to get it right now. And so to getting it right, we have planned a well-organized program for them. That's a 2-day program that will touch a lot of things that will help them to achieve better. Even this one is with a team, we call it the Ultimate Toolkit. The Ultimate Toolkit towards excellence. So this Ultimate Toolkit, we have gone through a lot of research to look at things that will actually aid them choosing the right career.
I love the fact that you mentioned Ultimate Toolkit. So, when is the program and where is it going to hold?
So the program is coming up next weekend. That is 8th and 9th of June. 8th and 9th of June 2024, and it is coming up at HMV Hall, 9A Fashakin Street, Anthony Bus Stop, behind old Lasso building. That's where it's coming up.
Okay, all right. So, are there requirements for people to be part of it? So, what do people need to do if they want to attend this program?
So basically, it's just for secondary school students. That is JSS1 to SS2. Then it's a program that is planned for teenagers to participate, but it comes with fee, and it's a subsidized one, trust me, and it comes with 8,000 naira per person for the whole 2 days.
For the 2 days. So
Yeah, and it is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the whole 2 days.
okay, so where can they register, or is it at the venue that they are going to pay, or they need to register ahead of the
They,
event?
they need to call. When they call us, we'll let them know how to register. But they have to register before the day for us to plan better for them.
All right, so what's the number to call, or apart from that, these days things people do WhatsApp, or even they go online and things like that. So
Yeah.
how can they reach you?
Yes, definitely. Teenage Triangle can be found on Facebook and Instagram with just the name Teenage Triangle. So Facebook and Instagram, you can find us. Then you can now call us or chat us on WhatsApp on 07087667479. Again, 07087667479.
All right, thank you. It's been wonderful. It's wonderful speaking with you,
Thank you so much.
Mr. Mustafa Najmuddin. And there you have it. So, for teenagers, for those of you that have your younger ones who are teenagers, especially secondary school students, and a lot of them probably they are confused about what they want to do with their lives. What should they study? What should be their career ambition, and so many other things like that. This is an avenue for you to learn more, and you never can tell what you'll be able to achieve out of this. So we want to you to be part of this, and one way or the other, Education Today would partner with you in this regard. So hopefully, I would also send our team down there to be part of this program.
Thank you so
So
much.
it's a
Really
pleasure
appreciate
to
this.
have you. So we'll go on a short break. When we return, Education Today continues. Please stay with us. All right. So right now we are moving into the discuss segment, and our guest is here with us. Today we are discussing HND-BSc dichotomy, ending the unnecessary rivalry. HND-BSc dichotomy, ending the unnecessary rivalry. We know quite well that there has been a lot of protests, letters, so many representations for graduates of polytechnics in Nigeria as regards the way the HND graduates are actually treated. So many complain of the fact that they have a particular level which they cannot rise beyond in the civil service. Some would even say that getting jobs with the HND certificate has been problematic, and some it's even a case of moving beyond the HND if you want to actually proceed. So what are the things that you can do? Some it's been a tale of woes. So on the program today, we have Ambassador Mujtaba Akinola. He is a quantity surveying ND graduate from Lagos State Polytechnic, Ikorodu. He is a QS undergraduate as well in a university, but I'll keep that, under wraps. He is a general secretary, Playda Youth Enlightenment Forum, and co-founder of Teenage Triangle. He's a teen coach, event host, motivational speaker, impactor, public speaker, and global change maker. Good afternoon and welcome to Education Today.
Good afternoon. It's nice being here.
All right, thank you very much. So, you can be a part of this program by sending your comments and questions to our Facebook, live feeds, on Facebook and YouTube. But let me go straight to this. For a lot of people that don't know HND or whatsoever, so what exactly is HND? What does it mean? And what's the process of acquiring HND?
Okay, thank you so much. HND is like an acronym for Higher National Diploma. It's actually a certificate course that will give students practical trainings and skills needed in the course of study. It also provides to them with real-world professional experience and also give them professional networking.
So, is HND equivalent to BSc, or where exactly would they get? I know quite well. A lot of people know that when they go to the university, they'll tell you have your bachelor's degree. So, which kind of institution or tertiary institution offers the HND certificate, and is HND equivalent to BSc?
Thank you so much for that question. To get your HND, you have to go to what we call the Polytechnic to
Okay.
get the HND form. But it has a grade. It's segmented.
Okay.
And let me tell you this, it's equal to the BSc, 100%. And I will prove that to you. In getting the HND, you have to do what we call National Diploma for 2 years. Then after that, you have your compulsory IT.
Okay.
for 1 year. Then after that, you now come for your HND program, 2 years, making 5 years to get your HND, which is equivalent to the BSc that you get in the university.
Well, there are some university courses that actually run for 4 years, and even for those that probably that run for 5 years, like the engineering, because I know it's a bit technical, they go for IT2 for 1 whole semester out of the 5-year program. So, but in your own case, you are going for 4 years. So now you are saying that it's actually probably equivalent in terms of content and the quality of practicals, at the same time the quality of research that university students do. Does that apply in the case of HND students?
Thank you so much for that. When we look at the HND and the full package that is embedded in it, we are looking at the practical skills that you need. Note, during your ND, you are going to go for a compulsory 4-month series. It's like a student work experience scheme. This is compulsory. They don't have that before the IT they have in the BSc. So the HND program is made to expose the students to everything they need. Before you graduate, before getting your certificate, you have the real life skills, the real world skills. So you have everything it takes to work there.
So it's job oriented.
It's job oriented.
Okay.
And when we are looking at the practical aspect, the theoretical aspect that the BSc, we have that too. Seminars, research, and the likes. We have that embedded in our program. Because for every series, for every IT, for every project, you have a paper presentation for that. Then you also have seminars to attend. Then also, we are also in connection with our professional bodies.
Okay. So, but because if you look at all this, I know it's more like a colonial heritage. Let me put it that way, because it's something that it's not just in Nigeria. Even in the UK, in the US, you have HND programs, and they are considered, HND is considered like an associate degree in some of these places, where they even tell you probably is equivalent to, it's like 2/3 of a university degree program. So 2/3 of it, that in some universities in the UK, for example, you run a degree program for 3 years, and HND is considered like the 2 years of the 3-year program. So now in the case of Nigeria, so why exactly now is it that HND graduates are actually advocating equivalence with probably the BSc,
Thank you.
when those that we inherited the program from really don't also have it as equivalent?
Okay, looking at the international standard, internationally, the HND is recognized, as you have said. Then also, you can actually use your HND to get master's degrees in international schools.
Wow.
Like in the US, in the USA, in the UK, is accepted. So this is just like the mentality they want us to actually believe in, that, okay, this is HND is substandard, HND is below. While in Nigeria, looking at what the course content, I am somebody who is, I'm not a scholar, but I'm very used to the educational content. When we look at the educational content, this the course content of HND and BSc is always the same. Just that the spacing differs.
Okay. Well, if you say that, I'm sure university degree holders would very much disagree with you. But regardless of that, so what are the challenges actually facing HND, holders in Nigeria at the moment, or probably even from the past till now?
We have a lot of challenges. One of it is the dichotomy of a thing. And when you look at the public service, I'm talking about the public service, HND holders will be placed on grade 8 stage 1.
Okay.
While BSc holders will be placed on grade 8 stage 2.
Okay.
1.
Why HND still on the same grade level?
But the thing is that the HND holders will not move more than level 14.
Wow.
While the BSc holder can move to level 17. Okay. Meanwhile, we have the same certificate and we have the experience more than they do. Okay. That's number 1. Why number 2 is that, okay, let's now say that I want to upgrade my certificates. I will have to go through the process of JAMB, getting a direct entry form to start from 300 level. That is in Nigeria curriculum. I'm talking about it now.
Okay.
300 level, then you do 300 level, 400 level before you get a BSc certificate. Not even a top-up, unless in some private university that runs top-up program. Yes. And if you could recollect, in 2023, October 15, I think the NUC debunked the news by the MBT that you can do a top-up or something like that. So these are one of the challenges I face. Even for ND holders, for you to just go, not all schools, I'm talking about schools in Nigeria, accept direct entry.
Yes,
absolutely. They even prefer
Their own
NC holders or their
foundation.
own foundation like JUPEB and the likes. So these are one of the major challenges we are facing. And when we now go to the private sector, that one is out of it. You will see somebody with BSc, with your experience and every other thing, they will bring the person above you. So these are the major challenges we are facing. And that is where we are appealing to the government. Because look at it, this bill has been passed in the House just for the governor and the president to assent it
to the bill.
right from President Muhammadu Buhari.
Buhari.
It was not assented. And thank God, Tinubu is here and is assenting bill. Last just a couple of days, he assented a bill of
The national
anthem. So we are appealing to him to please assent this bill because it has been passed.
All right. So because now I'm trying to look at it. So what exactly do people want? Let's be specific now. Are you requesting equivalence, or you're requesting probably the conversion of probably even your polytechnics to degree awarding system? Because that's what a lot of people are doing now. Universities, even state governors, even the Nigerian government is converting polytechnics to universities of technology. Is that the exact thing that you people really want, or you want your polytechnic to remain the same, but just that the certificate should be placed at equivalence level with the degree program, so that people can still continue to
Exactly, because that question is two. The first thing is that we want equivalence,
okay.
100%. That is what we want. And secondly, on the government translating the polytechnic to university is a case on its own. They have different purpose.
Yeah. So
The polytechnic has a purpose, the university has a purpose. I can argue it anyway. You cannot compare NCE to BED with the experience and the likes. So all these institutions has a purpose. So we should allow them do their purpose rather than just changing it to university. Look at a case of Lagos State now. No state polytechnic because it has been changed.
Yeah.
No state college of education, it has been changed. So that is not what we want. What we want is that we want the certificate to be equal. We are seeking equivalence because it has passed the Senate. For the Senate to pass, it shows that it is right. So we just need the president to assent it so that we move. So we want equivalence.
okay. All right. So now beyond that, very quickly, I want you to probably talk about the bridging program that the MBT has actually come up with, at least as a way of assisting HND holders, because a lot of them feel like we need to probably move, at least for us to be able to move forward in our career, we need something worthwhile, or something possible at least, so that we don't just end up with the HND. So what can you say about it? And do you also know, like you mentioned, although you mentioned that there are some private universities that actually run it, are there public universities that actually run some of these top-up programs?
Okay, the top-up program is actually run majorly by the private, but we have state universities that runs it.
Okay.
So they do the top-up for 2 years. You join 300 level class, mostly part-time, 300 level, 400 level in 2 years. But mostly private universities will do it a year.
A year,
But,
two
yes,
semesters.
2 semesters.
But I think I saw something probably across the First State University is actually Unicross is also running the top-up program.
So majorly state universities are doing it, but federal universities don't really have it. So we have it in state universities, the private universities, and it's actually nice because they put us to the wall to get it so as to move forward.
So, but what do you think if this? What do you think? In what way do you think government can actually assist in this? Because I know that now that the president is actually stalling with the assent to the bill, what happens if the president fails to assent to the bill, and how do you think that can actually impact polytechnic education in Nigeria?
One thing is, the polytechnic education will lose its purpose 100%. I can tell you for free that we will not have students going to the polytechnic again, because what's the essence of going through ND? Probably you go through going through ND, no university will accept you for direct entry, or probably few selected few. Even with your distinction, then you have to go through HND, then you do top up. And let me tell you, top up fee is very high in the Nigeria today.
About $100. I even saw something in dollars. I was like, in
It's
Nigeria,
very high
dollars.
in Nigeria today. In Nigeria today is very
To
high.
even apply.
Yes, it's very high. So it's costly. So polytechnic will lose the value, will lose the purpose, and it might even put an end to it. But we want the president to know that the polytechnic has a purpose. If not, it will not be created.
Okay. So, in view of all that we have said now, what would you advise someone who's unable to gain admission through probably because of the score in UTME, or even because if the score is high, right? Because of the school the person wants. And this same person actually has offers from Polytechnic.
That's a very tricky question, but I'll just say this.
So would you advise the person to still go ahead with the Polytechnic or stay back at home to rewrite UTM?
It's two things. It depends on the interest of the person.
Okay.
If you are going for technical courses that you need the skills, please go for Polytechnic. You will stand out. I'm telling you for free, an ND graduate, a very serious ND graduate, when he gets to 200 level, direct entry, peradventure, 200 level student can never stand in. 100%. So you will have an advantage. You have an experience. And when we are talking about experience in CV, it's not about I've worked for 5 years. I did my IT, it's an experience. I did my CV, it's an experience. I've worked in a professional firm, it's an experience. So you are gathering your experience from onset, it will help you. And let me tell you, writing your JAM after your ND cannot be compared to writing your JAM as a secondary school student. So the experience is there. So it's going to help you. But looking at the condition and the economy, the price and the likes, some people may feel like, let me stay home. But for experience sake and for productivity sake, I will advise you go for ND.
Okay.
And move on.
All right. Now, so what would now be your advice on a final note to an HND graduate who's actually facing discrimination and it's like there is no way forward for me? So what would you advise current HND holders who are still, battling with these discriminatory practices in the civil service, in general, in the society, among colleagues and things like that? So what advice?
We are trained with struggle. HND in the institution is not a walk in the park. So we are trained with struggle. It's not easy to get that certificate. So that should not debar you. Move on. When I'm talking about move on, you can do direct entry, you can do the top up, move on. But we are very sure that one day the government will listen to our claims, our cries, and they will assent it one day. Because let me tell you, we go to NYSC with the BSc students. We wear the same khaki, sleep in the same hostel, do the same activity, no discrimination there. So why discrimination at workplace? Why discrimination at other things? So this is like, I don't know the English to use for it. Probably it's like
something just intentional.
Exactly.
Just to, show that we are not on the same level.
Exactly, that is just it. Because if not that, we are doing almost everything.
I even know there are some professions today that, for those that actually pass through the Polytechnic, they actually even excel in a lot of times better than those.
100%. That is it.
An exam, apart from the engineering, including even accountancy.
Yes.
Because when you look at the records of those. Now, but with all of this now, do you think it would be better, or would you advise if they have opportunity, the HND graduates should probably travel abroad?
If they have the opportunity, they can go abroad. We have schools abroad in UK, US that will accept them to do their masters directly, so they can go for that and move on with their life.
Wow. All right. Well, I think there you have it. So for the HND graduates and to the government, to everybody, it's important we recognize the function of each of these tertiary institutions. They have the objectives. The Polytechnic has its objective, the College of Education have their objectives, and the universities have their objectives. So we should not kill these other ones because of the universities.
Exactly.
And for the graduates of these institutions, let's not bring unnecessary and unwarranted discrimination or dichotomy that would make people lose interest. Because I'm trying to imagine now, for those who have just written this year's UTME, for instance, like we talk about over 70% of students that are unable to score up to 200. So would you now say all of them should wait back at home now till the following year because they cannot probably gain admission to a university?
And the mark can never be the same.
So then you are also now talking about the fact that the Polytechnics and the College of Education, do you just want them to die? Or is it that they no longer serve their purposes? So we believe government has listened to you and to those who actually have the HND certificate. We hope the president would also assent to the removal of the dichotomy between the
We are
BSc
sincerely
and
appealing to the president to
the
remove
HND.
that.
All right. So it's been a pleasure having you on the program, Ambassador Mujtaba Akinla, who is a public speaker, a life coach. You can see he's motivated. He's a motivational speaker, and at the same time the co-founder of Teenage Triangle. So it's a pleasure having you. And we hope that probably when there is another opportunity for you to also share your thoughts on some other issues of national concern, especially as it relates to education, you would oblige us with your presence. All right. So this is what we'll draw the curtains on at the discuss segment for today. Don't go away. Education Today. You're welcome to the Words on the Marble segment of Education Today, where we'll take a look at memorable quotes that are educational and inspirational to everyone. Today we have a quote from Marian Wright Edelman. According to her, education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. That's our Words on the Marble for today. Education is a social contract geared towards improving the quality of life of its recipients and that of the immediate society. The moment that goal is lost, such activity ceases to be called education. All right, so this is to inform you, our esteemed listeners, that you can advertise your products and services and also showcase your event on our program. This you can do by calling the number 070-2507-4268. I'll take that again, 070-2507-4268. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let us know how you feel about today's program through our various platforms, www.facebook.com/education today, or you can also send an email to educationmediaservices@gmail.com, educationmediaservices@gmail.com. Many thanks to the entire crew of Education Today and the management of Lights Radio. The supervisor producer has been Said Aremu. Many thanks to TYS and Faye for making this possible. Do join us same time next week on this station, Lights Radio. I remain OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. I'll see you next week and goodbye.